Now, I talk a lot about productivity and I really obsess around it because I'm always thinking to myself, how can I squeeze the very, very most I can out of every second, every minute, every hour of every day? And so I'm often running experiments and tests to really try and understand how does my energy correlate to my output? How does the amount of hours I have available correlate to my output? And I've been really running a bit of a test for a few months now, and it's fascinated me in terms of the output that I've been able to drive when considering this. So I talk a lot about just pace, right? Working at a high pace, being driven, getting after it in life, and that spirit will always be in me because, again, life is short. So to me, you've just got to play offense with your life and really try and make the most of every single day. But with that said, something that I definitely didn't appreciate when I was younger versus something that I appreciate a lot more now is energy, and the direct correlation between the amount of energy that you have, both mental energy and physical energy, and the way that that can really transform the output that you have when it comes to your work. So when I'm talking about this productivity hack or this particular way of thinking, what it really starts with is, first of all, effective prioritization, right? Because if you don't know what are the needle moving tasks within your business, or if you're a salesperson within your campaign, it all starts there. You've got to understand what are the most important high leverage tasks that you need to tackle. And you've got to absolutely start your day with those particular tasks. Everything else can wait, but you've got to start with those tasks. But the next component of this is really all about having absolute maniacal laser focus within certain sprints, work sprints in essence, throughout the day. So the way that I go about this is, first of all, I've done the prioritization mapping to understand what is the most important task. The next component is I will break out 4 work sprints that are 1 hour each, and then there'll be a break after each sprint. I'm far more effective at working early in the morning generally than later at night. So my work sprints will tend to start around the 8 a.m. mark, sometimes even earlier than that. Right. For example, I'm recording this video right now at about 6:45 a.m. So it really depends, but most days it'll be 8. So I will do that work slot from 8 a.m. through to 9 a.m. Then I'll typically take about a 20-minute break. Now, during that time, phone is off. I'll, of course, be working on my laptop, but TV is off. No one can get a hold of me during that time. It's absolute focus, and I know exactly what needs to be achieved during that work sprint, right? There's no question marks. I'm not having to think about it. I'm not having to procrastinate with what I'm doing. I know exactly what needs doing, and all it is a case of execution. I actually have this hourglass here, which is a 1 hour hourglass. All I do is turn this over and I say to myself, I can't move or do anything else until that hourglass is elapsed and until the task is done or the necessary tasks are done. Now, why do I classify this as a hack or something different? Because the way that I used to think, and that a lot of people still think, is that they look at the 8-hour workday and it becomes a case of trying to cram as much in as possible into the 8-hour workday. But what then happens is you get to the end of the day, you're knackered, you're exhausted. Not even at the end of the day. Most people by lunchtime, they're tired, exhausted, their brain is like mush, it's not really functioning right. And then when they look at what they've achieved over the 8 hours versus what someone like myself would have achieved in 4 work sprints, it's night and day. I mean, I have dominated, right? Achieved an unbelievable amount. And the main reasons behind that is I would have had more energy because I've done focus work in a more condensed period of time, right? I've had more focus because I know the exact task I need to do and given myself a timeline within which to do it. Now, when you compare this to the average other person, they just got, right, I've got 8 hours of time. They walk into the day and the day kind of just runs them. And they're expending a lot of energy trying to think about what needs doing and then just kind of chipping away at it bit by bit throughout the day. So it's a very different way of thinking and acting and operating. And if you can make this shift for yourself to just creating some kind of routine, having sprint work blocks, then a break, then another sprint, and having less of them, right? So you don't need to do necessarily the full 8 hours. Can you achieve the same or more of an output in less amount of time? Because really any business or leader should be focused on the outputs instead of just the incremental amounts of time. So have a think about your own day and see if there's ways that you can incorporate either all of these concepts or some of these concepts so that you can get a better yield on every single second of the time that you have available within your work sprints. I hope this video has been helpful in some way. If it has, please do like, comment, share and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.